There's something quite special in the wood at the bottom of the garden. It's an enormous tree trunk lying on its side. The bark is deeply fissured with burrs and bracket fungi dotted around it. It's gradually decomposing, and as far as I can tell, it has been for quite a few years. The smaller branches seem to have rotted away, and it's still a giant. Imagine what this would have looked like as a tree before it fell. This fallen trunk isn't the whole story though. You can see where the trunk used to be rooted in the ground. Where it snapped off, it left a tall, splintered stump pointing skywards. And the stump isn't dead and has sent up shoots. It's growing back. The reason this is so special to me is that this is Britain's rarest native tree. It's a black poplar. The scientific name is Populus nigra, and in fact the native black poplar is a subspecies, Betulifolia, and the subspecies name means leaves like birch leaves, maybe because black poplar leaves are quite triangular with some resemblance to smaller birch leaves. Black poplars are impressive trees. They grow up to around 100 feet tall in their 200-year lives, and they feature prominently in one of the most popular of English paintings, Constable's Haywain. The black poplars are shown growing by a river. However, for reasons I'll come to, black poplars are now very rare. Poplars are in the willow family, so they share a special property of willows. They root from cuttings very readily. What I wanted to do was take some cuttings from this one. Last year I took some cuttings from one of the enormous trees nearby. That's a female, and the branches are way out of reach, but in a storm a huge bough came down, so I took loads of cuttings and some of them seem to have rooted. I'm imagining how this might look in 50 or 100 years. The idea is to have a sort of semicircle of them which hides the view beyond, and then when you walk through the trees that view opens up. I'm not sure I have 100 years left or even 50, but hopefully someone will appreciate it. For the cuttings, I cut them to about a metre or so, quite approximate, and then I used a bamboo pole to make a suitable hole in the ground, pushed the cutting maybe 30 centimetres into the hole, and then added a stake and a cage. The cage is to stop the deer munching them, and the cage has to be zip tied to the stake or the deer will lift it off easily, and you come out to find the cage lying on its side and a stump where your plant used to be. It's very frustrating. The deer are a real challenge here. They're very sweet, but they're also destructive, and at the moment their numbers are thought to be higher than they have been in the last 1,000 years. I'll put a link to a recent article on the topic in the description below. I mentioned earlier the black poplar is Britain's rarest native tree. In the last few years it's been estimated that there are as few as 7,000 left in the UK. And the problem's worse than this because they exist as separate male and female trees. Of the roughly 7,000, less than 10% are female trees, and this makes it hard for them to reproduce. Their floodplain habitats are often drained for agriculture, and yet another factor is the introduction of hybrids, which yield more useful wood. The native subspecies hasn't been favoured in the same way, and because it hybridizes easily, the pure form ends up being lost. In the spring, ideally we will see some leaves and growth. I'll keep you updated here. Thanks as ever for watching. More to come. Catch you soon.